5 reasons why President William Ruto might actually be going home in 2027. The last one will shock you. A lot is being said about Kenya's President William Ruto, and according to TIFA latest polls, it indicates that 68% of Kenyans have little or no faith under William Ruto, and at least 75% of the same Kenyans believe the country is heading in the wrong direction under his leadership. How comes a man who garnered at least 7 million plus votes out of the possible 14 million votes is now appearing allegedly as the most hated president in Africa? What went wrong? What happened? Let's dive in. 5 things that could send President William Ruto home in 2027. The last one will shock you even more. There is a lot being said about the 5th president of Kenya, William Ruto, and a national survey by TIFA indicates that at least 68% of Kenyans have little or no faith in the president. And similarly, 75% of Kenyans believe the country is heading in the wrong direction under his leadership.
Imani ya Wakenya kwake Rais William Ruto inazidi kushuka, huku utafiti wa shirika la TIFA ukionyesha kuwa 68% ya Wakenya hawana imani naye.
So, the question is, how did we get here? In 2022, millions of Kenyans, over 7+ million voters out of the possible 14 millions, voted for William Ruto. Yes, roughly half of the votes were for William Ruto. But now, he appears among the most disliked presidents in Africa.
Ruto must go! Ruto must go! Ruto must go! Ruto must go!
In this breakdown, I'll explain 5 major things that have, over the last 4 years, damaged Ruto's political legacy and still eroded public trust.
Must go, must come, must do whatever. That's the beauty of democracy. You can say whatever you want. You can chant whatever you want. One time, Kazungu and all the others. But they don't bother me.
Number one is too much borrowing. Kenya's debt has grown too fast. Before President Ruto took office, Kenya's public debt stood at about 8.6 trillion Kenyan shilling, with approximately 4.3 trillion external debt and 4.3 trillion Kenyan shilling on the domestic debt. External debt includes loans from China, the World Bank, and the IMF, while domestic debt refers to borrowing from local banks, investors, and similar sources. That debt was projected over roughly 10 years, but in less than 5 years, Ruto has reportedly added another 4.1 trillion Kenyan shillings, bringing Kenya's public debt to about 12.84 trillion Kenyan shilling. Many Kenyans are angry because they feel that despite that borrowing, they don't see visible projects compared to what earlier regimes did under Uhuru Kenyatta. Example, the roads and the SGR. Number 2 is taxation. Since taking office, President Ruto has introduced tax measures through multiple systems, tax policies that are so intense that they help trigger the 2024 Gen Z protest. And with the proposed Finance Bill 2026, Kenyans are bracing for even more burdens. The proposals include 1. Additional VAT affecting digital finance services such as the mobile money transfer activities. 2. Charges related to banking and service fees. And number 3, major hike through increased residential rent taxes. If these proposals pass, the likely outcome is simple. Landlords will raise rents, and that means that the cost of living will rise again, along with transfer costs for services like M-Pesa. Number 3 is continued anger around selling public assets. Kenyans hear about major assets that belong to the people, being moved into private hands or altered in ways that the public views as unfair. Some of the names people often mention include JKIA, KICC, Kenya Roads, Kenya Pipelines, and large entities such as the oil corporations, among other institutions. Kenyans are asking, are these assets being sold to benefit the people or to benefit private interest and politically connected actors? Reason number 4 is the issue of abductions and deaths of young Kenyans, especially the aftermath of 2024 Gen Z protest. For many parents, young people, and families across the country, this regime did not just disagree politically, it became personal. And when young lives are lost or people disappear, it creates deep anger that doesn't fade quickly. And now to the last reason, the one that will shock you the most: selling data of ordinary Kenyans to foreigners. Reliable sources suggest that the government is developing a framework to monetize government-collected data. This includes data which is gathered through eCitizen. And how? By selling it to researchers, businesses, and NGOs. You might ask, are they selling my personal details? You mean my name, phone number, ID? Yes, Kenya has laws that protect certain types of personal data, but as many Kenyans suspect, the real concern is that what is supposed to be aggregated may still expose patterns tied to real people, especially when it's combined with other systems and databases. In short, Kenyan law protects personal data, but we all know how the system sometimes changes. Even more alarming is a claim that Kenya sold citizen health data at about $5.66 per person to the United States last year. If accurate, this could mean access to sensitive records, medical information, health profiles, and potentially genetic-related information, depending on how the data was packed and shared. You get what I mean? The US can access all this information about you because the Kenyan government has already consented them, our health data, and how much of your private information has already left your control. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And that's the breakdown of how Ruto's legacy has been damaged over the last 4 years. In my next video, I'll cover which state house and assets have been sold or transferred. And 2, I will do a full breakdown on tax changes and how they may affect you personally. If there's another reason you feel I should mention, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more political news breakdown. My name is Wangeshi Miriam. See you in the next one.